Do do do. What do what do what do what do do what do 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 what do what do 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 what do what do 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 what do what do what do. Look at all these fucking anthills. Oh my god. Okay. There goes spot. Howdy. It's me, Taro, and I've got a. Guess it's story time. I don't really know how to else to put it. I'm just gonna talk about something that I want to talk about, and while I do that, I'm gonna smoke on this bowl here. I don't even really know what it is because it's from last night, and I burned one all the way down, and I know I enjoyed myself last night. That's about as much as I can say. So we're gonna start it off, and I'm gonna get into it. Man, it's a fucking perfect day. All right, let's do this. All right, so what I have to talk about with you lovelies is that I have a hypothesis that I call want reduction theory or whatever. And it's kind of like need reduction in psychology, but this is based on free will in the sense of having agency over your own actions. I agree. I'm the one who acts in the context of my body, and I'm able to affect reality as long as I'm not being forced to do anything. Though we can go deeper into the actual, uh, like philosophy of material conditions, of the actual pressure that's put on a person that technically is the force that causes someone to be without choice. But that is for a future video. So, want reduction is basically the idea that we animals, including humans, do not engage in activities that they do not want to do. And that is because they find a reason to want to do it. For example, I hate doing yard work. Like, you have to pick up sticks before you mow the lawn. It's really annoying. Would never like doing it, but if I find myself picking up sticks about to mow the lawn, it's because I found a reason to want to do it. Whether I want a more clean yard, or if I want to feel good about doing something, even though I say grow gardens, not lawns, because grass, you can't really eat that. To tie this into free will, we have to dip into a little bit of psychology as well, with the fact that once an electrical impulse starts, it's not going to stop. And the question I usually have for people when discussing like free will is, so in chemistry, if I combine sodium and chloride, I'm going to make sodium chloride and salt. And they're like, yes. And I say, every single time? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, but even though it's always going to be salt, just because we don't understand it and don't see, like, we can't predict it, doesn't mean it's random. I don't even know if I'm going to go back to the topic because I may have forgotten it. I might have to make another video. So, yes. Yes! So, am I back? I think I'm back. So, one of the following questions, after establishing that sodium and chloride will always make sodium chloride, it doesn't choose to combine. It doesn't have the agency to actually make a choice. So after establishing that, I ask what changes from out here in reality that is different in here that means that we have control over what we do. And most people seem to waffle about whether it is a religious argument or some people have, well, I mean, excuse me. Oh, the clip doesn't turn. Oh well. There doesn't seem to be much of a change that happens between chemicals combining here and becoming something new, and then a chemical reaction happening in the brain. The fact that conscious thought seems to be a series of layered brain states like data compression, it causes me to say that we only do what we want to do. And that is where my want reduction idea comes from. Like, I've heard people talk about a general idea of what I'm trying to expand on. I'm not sure if it was rationality rules or telltale atheist, but I mean, shout out to them. Thank you guys for helping me in my journey of getting out. But it also needs to be brought up that it's similar thinking in want reduction that is, it's parallel to the idea of I'm willing to try anything once. And from partying for years and hearing that and a lot of excuses to justify an addiction to whatever substance, when people say they're willing to try anything once, and it really seems like they haven't, well, it seems like they try destructive and toxic things once, and because it's easy, they continue doing it. But it's like, have you tried to succeed? And I don't really know how to go further into a hypothetical conversation with that because whenever I actually say it in public to a person, they tend to not really have much to say in that sense. So I've never really been able to expand on that sort of conversation. But hey, uh, bonus little thing. I had a, I was enjoying a live stream today. Shout out to Jovan Bradley and him helping me reject technocracy and being a technocrat and learning about communism. And I'm currently a baby anarcho communist. So thank you to him. I was in his live stream today and I really appreciate these people. They made my day and it fills my heart with joy. So shout out to Corey. Corey Z- This poof smells weird. Um, I mean, I am camping, so everything smells weird right now. I probably smell terrible. I need to take a shower. So, Corey, thank you for the support and the love. It is appreciated. It's meant a lot. We hadn't even really met before, and you showed me kindness. it's something that I've done, and I've not really experienced it, and it feels really good, so I appreciate it. Like when I drove the truck, I would be making a random stop, and I would happen to walk with someone, and I would just talk to them like I had known them for years, and felt it was a little bit of like touching base with humanity and making sure that I'm not alone and just a vessel of blood in the system. And shout out to JD Trans. I am so glad I looked at my phone when they commented, "Where the fuck are you, Taro? I know you're fucking in here." And I realize I'm a little bit online too much right now, but I'm also working on getting like I'm interested in getting active with my community in real life, in my city, in my neighborhood, and all that. I really appreciate you following me, Corey and JD Trans. Like I was having a perfect day, and then I started talking to y'all, and it stayed perfect, and I really appreciate it. I'm not saying that like I was expecting a fight or anything, but you guys kind of went above and beyond being people at the time, so thank you. Shout out to both you guys. I'm almost about to cry. I'm sorry. Like that, like it really felt good. Thank you. I appreciate the support and the appreciation of I don't know, like just having an excess of humanity that you both expressed. Um, trying to figure out how to end this video because I've already done want reduction, and I've oh yeah, I remember now. There is something I gotta say. I am. I am 3 possums in articles of clothing. I forgot some stuff, so I gotta make another pass at thing. Oh no! I made a weird crop circle looking thing just walking around, just like do 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 do. Another example in want reduction is a counter argument people have often given me when explaining it is, but people need to eat. And my rebuttal to that is, but when we get up based on the pressures of what our body is telling us, yes, we need to eat in order to survive. But when we eat is based on want. And I understand that one of the counter arguments is easily, but there are people in conditions where they don't have a choice of what they have. That is one of the subtopics of this that goes into deeper of the material conditions that takes perceived choice away. Anyway, so for example, I get hungry I need to eat. So I walk into my pantry or my refrigerator, and after I'm done rubbing my head from walking actually into it, I open the fucking door. I'll see myself out. So anyway, I look within and I say, let's be healthy. Okay, I want to eat either a banana or an apple. And so I need to eat something in order to survive. Based on my options, I will decide on whichever food I want, given the option. There's a reason why I don't normally order vanilla ice cream, because I usually don't want it, because I'm not a fan of it. I mean, I dabble. I fuck with it sometimes. I'm all chocolate. I'm sorry. Like, I love getting ice cream with add-ins and stuff, like whatever it is, like peanut butter or whatever. But simple chocolate, a good simple chocolate. And if you can make a vanilla that it's a good simple vanilla, then fucking hell. Are you from heaven? So yeah, let's say I decide on the banana. Did I actually make a choice? Or is it because of an assortment of variables? Some of them are conscious, like you might like bananas and you're allergic to apples, so you would be swayed one way versus the other. Or let's say you like both. How how you decide then? Um, well, have you had an apple or a banana recently? That might impact your decision. Maybe you want something new. Maybe you're fine with consistency. There are tons of variables that go into why we decide on what we decide on, whether it's conscious or unconscious. I'm sorry, I would face y'all. Hi. But I want to make sure that the sound is good. And it's Wimby. So, that's what I mean with want reduction, is that we, given an option, it's what we decide on. And if, like, people have argued, but let's say I decide I want to drink poison and I'm like, because you want to? I really don't know how else to put it, because, like, I really don't understand the argument of being able to act in a way that you do not want to. Like, when you're actually in control, like autonomous control, like, uh, I have actually blacked out on a few substances, and I don't know if I was actually in control of my body. Like, literally, so I can't say. And I'm not educated enough to be able to give an opinion on that yet. So, in the future, when I start doing studying streams, when I get bored during my semester, I might do a live stream and have a Q&A or something where I'm studying and talk to y'all, because I don't know, I want to have some community of people who understand that they aren't perfect, and, like, I'm I'm an adult and I'm pretty ignorant of stuff, and I hear people. Why do I hear people? Why the fuck? Oh no. I'm looking around for anything I could use. Yeah, I don't understand when someone says that they're able to do something that they don't want to do. because seems like they aren't that almost translates to hello, I'm not in control of my body and therefore not in control of my actions. Therefore, I'm not responsible for what I do and who I harm and who I impact. And well, it probably should have been impact and then harm because like I was trying to go down levels, but either way. Yeah, there's tons of variables for why someone would do something they don't like. But when they do it, it's they can say that they don't want to, but they're still doing it. So either they don't understand what I'm saying, they aren't intelligent enough at the time, or they're too ignorant. Sorry. Like, I mean, there might be people who don't have the capability of, like, actually learning this, but I don't like to assume, even though I know that people undergo frontal and prefrontal, like, damage to their brains, and they aren't able to actually grasp hypotheticals. Like, there are people who literally cannot understand a hypothetical, and I think I've noticed this is kind of a side topic, and I need to get this out before I forget it. But there needs to be a better method worked out for helping people who we disagree with understand the hypotheticals without making them feel like we're putting them down. Because it's not their fault that they can't understand. It's not their fault for us to be judgmental assholes and assume that anyone can understand. It's a little side note. I'm not saying that anyone is wrong by thinking like, hey, you don't understand a simple analogy or a simple hypothetical, because there are a lot of uh, ideas that put up walls that reject skepticism and doubt, and in order for the bad idea to continue. So more often than not, it's usually someone who can and has the capacity to understand a metaphor or a hypothetical. They just willfully stay ignorant of it because of what they've been taught. But there do exist people who don't have the capacity, and there has to be a way to reach those people in a way where they can understand as well. Because to kind of finish the point and not just ramble on, which I've been doing, yes, I always will ramble. Well, so I totally forgot what I was doing to do, so that was the whole thing apparently. Dang Matera, why would you do something like that? Man, it is so nice out today. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just on vacation before my final semester. This might be getting back on topic, but I usually imagine that when people actually understand the the conditions of reality rather than what has been told to them is true and is not actually factual in reality, that they would easily change their mind. After watching Dean's and Parker's and Santana's content and the atheist content as well, And also Anthony Magnabosco, shout out to him for street epistemology, helping me find the Socratic method and the manual for creating atheists. So a method of helping people understand what is the case rather than what they're being told is the case, which is not. Despite not being able to understand hypotheticals or metaphors, cannot assume that everyone understands or has the capacity for being able to grasp a hypothetical or a metaphor. Yeah, thank you. I think that was everything. I don't know. Well, maybe I could stand right here. It's so fucking nice out. Bye.